Good evening. Welcome back to Where the Owls Sleep. It's the Parliament. We have moved from Sundays to Mondays now. New time, new session. Let's see how it runs. How's everybody doing?
Very good, thanks, mate. Feels like it's been ages since I've been on there. Probably because it is.
Yeah, I think it's ages since any of us have been on there, to be fair. How's it going, John?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Sorry for the tardiness, man. I've had quite the journey home from work tonight, as anyone that was encountering the A406 will have accounted for. So,
mate, you need to find a job where you work from home because you're jinxed every time you leave the ass.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. Anything that revolves around travel, I might as well leave 3 hours early, and I'll probably still be late for. So, this could be one of my more thoroughly unprofessional performances. Where for our viewers on YouTube, that'd be the improvement. But there's going to be a little bit of me in the kitchen cooking tonight, so it could be a nice little multitask addition. So,
got a cooking show out for the day, yeah?
Yeah, why not, man?
All of our favourite topics, football and food.
Yeah. can't really go wrong.
There's strippers in there as well, John. Chicken
give it half hour.
What you're talking about, Jack?
Chicken strippers.
That's what I mean. Give it half hour, they'll be out the oven, you know. Like.
There you go.
Have you got any sauce on them strippers, or
working on it?
Yeah, this is taking a wild turn already, isn't it?
Oh, man.
Right, let's get into it. We'll do a little bit on England before we go into the main topic. It's been that long, but I'm clicking on the wrong things.
What are we doing if Sam Hargreaves notoriously doesn't look at his team is comfortably on top?
That is.
Oh my God!
I'm not sure if that's from the last game week or the game week before, so I'll have to double check that before we close out to make sure, see what's right. But it was meant to be this. Before I clicked on the wrong thing, last Thursday, England 2, Serbia 0. Seems to be with a default scoreline for England these days.
Imagine.
Yeah, I'm actually quite loudly impressed with what Tuchel's been doing. No goals conceded, won every game, through to the World Cup. Simple stuff.
Screams of conceding 3 in our first group game, though, doesn't it?
Losing 3-0 to someone rubbish. Panama.
Or Scotland.
Oh, please no.
Even worse.
They won't make it.
No, Che Adams is up there anyway.
So how's people been viewing this little run from Tuchel in England? It's very pragmatic, so to speak.
You can tell things are going well, or there's just not much. It's all pretty comfortable victories because of all the press of finding other reasons to sniff about with trouble. So yeah, that's a sign of things going well, I think. Sadly, in Britain and England.
Well, they've had to get off the Bellingham bus, haven't they? Because that was the previous international break. It was the whole sort of. It was the kind of there was a big narrative around his relationship with Bellingham, and that seems to have dissipated now.
I'd say the only thing I've got to complain about this international break is such conceited commentary and let's say professional media pieces about how people are performing, because it's like we're being fed something. It's like the rest of the news. They want to feed us something so much that we all believe it.
Yeah.
So, like Saka against Serbia, I didn't think he really did much at all. But then we were told how it's the best finish in the world that come off his shin. It was a controlled shin, they said on the telly. And I'm like, just say he fucking shinned it.
Wait, someone actually said it was a controlled shin.
Yeah, a control.
Wow.
Like, it's come off of his ankle. But it was a controlled effort. Like, no, it come off his shin. And if it comes off an ankle, it's quite difficult to control it.
Hey, when we went over that 5-a-side and we see Tomo doing kick-ups with his shin stocks, it's possible.
Yeah, but Like, yeah, it was, and also, like Foden when he just laid it into Eze. They
Yeah.
spoke more about Foden just squaring it to him and the precise speed of it than like Eze's finished. It was whipped into the top corner.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of the West Ham fans, fucking hell, that's how tired I am. The Arsenal fans crying about how much Foden's pass got talked up. And yeah, it's an easy 5-yard pass, but pass appreciation, innit? Regardless of the distance,
Mate,
regardless of where you're going, get it there at the right speed.
I totally agree, but it was a bit excessive because I mean, it's not like I don't know, like Dan Burn burst through and played it on. It was like, oh, that's a really good pass for Dan Burn. Like it's Phil Foden.
Yeah.
He's pretty fucking good, isn't he? Like I'd expect that from him.
Fair play, and it is still a pretty exceptional finish as well. It's not like he had an open goal.
Anyone think Eze's playing better for England than he is Arsenal? Is he going to be England's Eze?
It seems to be because I think Tuchel likes a bit of a maverick here and there, doesn't he? He's not like thoroughly rigid like a lot of the club managers are these days. So I think he probably will flourish a little bit more. There'll be 2 or 3 of them that are allowed a little bit of leeway to do what they want.
I'd definitely leave that on him at the minute. Yeah, just competent displays. I mean, what I would say, the people that have built up the most didn't really offer much this international window, but I suppose there's mitigating circumstances, especially for Bellingham, because he's still getting fit, but I didn't think he was much cop. Yesterday? And like I say, I was, funny enough, my cousin was at one of the games. I was texting him, and I was like, Saka does absolutely nothing until he does something, and then we'll never hear the end of it. I thought for that Serbia game, he wasn't doing anything.
No.
But then
I didn't actually watch much of the Serbia game, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Well, I missed some of this because I had John-esque problems on the train.
He's had a John.
Yeah.
Did you get your money back, though? That's the question. I
was struggling on that front. We'll save that. We'll do another pod for our transport woes, John.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saka seems to do nothing until he scores, and then we have to say how brilliant the performance was. Do you know what? Someone can be quite average and still score a goal.
Yeah, people make careers out of that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Not playing well and just nicking a goal at the end.
Speaking of which, where is Samir tonight?
It's a weekday, so he hasn't been drinking. I'm not sure if he's going to come on.
He's polishing that trophy he sent a picture of in the group chat, isn't
he? Yeah, probably polishing something.
He's top goal scorer for the Haaland third 11 that he showed us on our group chat. Just to clarify for everyone.
I can't even remember what I was going to say now. This game, I watched a lot of this game. England looked, Albania look a lot better than I've ever seen them look, to be fair. They look quite a solid outfit, and it took England quite a lot of time to break them down, but got there in the end. The second goal, Rashford's cross, is just unbelievably good. He seems to be picking up some form since being at Barcelona.
Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine being United. Yeah. Him and McTominay got their own WhatsApp chat at the minute, haven't they?
There's a few of them in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Haaland scoring goals.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Oh, that was always going to happen, though, wasn't it? He's probably going to end up winning. So he'll end up getting the golden boot in Syria. You just had that written all over it as soon as he went over there.
Yeah. Has he carried on scoring? Let me have a look, because I know he started off very well.
Anthony's been doing all right since the permanent move to Betis.
No, actually, maybe not that many. He's got 2 in 7.
Still better than Man United.
Yeah.
Comfortably as well. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens when we get round to the World Cup. Like Jack was saying earlier, there's weird things going on with the media picking out random other stuff. I see weird abuse. Dan Burn got 4 last night for a clean sheet against Albania for some reason. As much as it it's not me just backing the Newcastle play. It seems very odd for someone who had very little to do and not a lot went wrong to get a 4.
You did have L'Keefe open, did you?
Yeah. Look, as someone that watched a lot of the game, and I didn't get to see too much, how was my man Bowen?
Looked lively, to be fair. Got a couple of shots off, very direct. Unlucky not to score on one occasion, to be honest.
Good save.
From what I saw, absolutely, the small bits that I saw, like he'd do something, and it just wasn't referenced at all. It's like, was he just killing time till Saka come on or something?
Yeah, well, you know what commentators do. They have their agenda and they play to it the whole time.
Yeah.
I think the problem with Bowen and England is it's as much as it's the same position, it's a completely different role.
I totally agree, mate.
And he's very much head down and run because that's what he needs to do at West Ham, which is what will be his downfall a little bit at England at times, which means coming on late in games probably suits him. As much as I think he's a fantastic player, I think he's put similar GA up to Saka over the last 3 or 4 seasons anyway, playing in a worse side. So I rate him highly, but it's just the way he plays for me is probably the reason he won't get in full-time permanently, to be honest.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I think he'll struggle to make the squad.
Wow. Who do you reckon they take instead then? Surely not Madueke.
I would have thought so.
I reckon they'll go to him because I don't know why. Well, you've just said it. I do know why. West Ham play a different way to England. Although Bowen would do fantastically well for West Ham, I just don't think it clicks for him at England. And I'm starting to I'm delighted for him because he deserves a recognition for excellent club form over the past few years, despite being in a bit of a naff side. It just doesn't click for England, and I feel, unfortunately, when you get to that stage, it's all about if you score or assist. And every time I see him, like, he'll put in a good cross, but the finish gets blocked, or the ball doesn't quite drop to him. The amount of times he does, the old frustrated hands in the air like that. He's always doing that for England. I'm just not sure it's ever gonna click for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe not. So that said, just before we roll into the main sort of subject for the evening, what are people's starting 11s going into the World Cup? Because I feel like it's going to be a rather different look England to what we've seen over the last few tournaments.
I've got to say props to Jack because he called out O'Reilly. Was it at the beginning of this year or midway through last year? And he's just been on that upward trajectory ever since. And he looks nailed on for left back, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which is really...
They were going through the left backs on the radio earlier today. So potentials for it. Well, there's a Lewis off, Lewis Hall, Rico Lewis, and Lewis Skelly. Nico O'Reilly. I'm sure there was another one. It was like, wow, it feel like blink and you're like, where the fuck all these people come from? To be fair, they weren't around 2 years ago, were they?
No.
Well, yeah, not really. Rico Lewis is in and around money, but Lewis Hall certainly wasn't. And yeah, it's just like blink, and 5 of them are all sort of potentially going for the spot. But yeah, like Nico O'Reilly is just riding that youth train, isn't he? Lucky bastard. And good for him. I actually think he looks like he could be very good, to be honest with you. I mean, what hasn't he got? I mean, he and he's not scared of taking a shot. Sadly, he's pretty freaking naff at that, but I'm sure that'll come on. But he's just got balls, hasn't he? And that's the type of stuff you need. I mean, you can't really call. I don't know. Could you call? No, we can't call him a bolter now, can you? He's starting, so he's not a bolter for the squad. I mean, like you've just originally said, Stocks, he's probably nailed on already.
Feels like it.
It's going to take a lot for many of the other left backs to sort of wedge him out now, really, isn't it? Because Lewis Skelly's not even playing. Lewis Hall is just back from injury. He's probably going to start his first game for Newcastle this season on Saturday.
Feels like he's dangerously close to injury prone, though, right?
No, it's sort of. He's off the back of one big injury, and then he had a little blip just after he came back. So if he gets injured again now, he's on the verge of it. But it was just he was getting back up to speed, and then he picked up a little knock before he got full fitness, which can happen after a long injury, to be fair.
Oh yeah, of course it can. But I mean, like he now needs to be making some quite large moves over the next 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
Is it March the next internationals? I'm sure it's quite. That feels like a very long time away, but I'm sure it's. I saw it was March.
I think it is something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw lots of crap tweets of, oh yeah, let's celebrate. There's no international break till March. It gets on my nerves. I don't mind international football.
I don't mind it, but 3 already this season's excessive.
Well,
Yeah.
they're changing the schedule next year.
Okay.
The international schedule's changed. So instead of having these two separate windows, there'll be one big block starting in the last week of September for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's like 3 weeks and you'll play your 4 games there.
Oh, nice.
So it's done in one block, and that's starting from 2026, and I think that goes on for either 2 or 3 years.
I think that's nice though, because when you sort of, I think it's like you said, you've kind of hit the nail on the head. It's not like an international football. It's the getting 3 weeks into club football, and then suddenly you get a transfer window closed, and everything just comes to a grinding halt for a couple of weeks. Just as you're really starting to get the taste back for it. And it must be difficult for sides just trying to bed in a bit, you know. So giving them a couple of months is the way to go, especially off the back of a World Cup. Yeah.
So how many actual games are there left now?
Just friendlies. Oh, well,
playoffs.
Friendlies.
Like how many games are left for people like Lewis Hall to try and get in that squad? Just trying to.
I think it's 2 in March and then a couple before the tournament. So I think we're like less than a handful at this point. So I do feel like I think it will be interesting because I think Tuchel's probably got a much better idea in his mind of what his team would be. And I don't really think he's going to venture too far off because he's not really going to have time to like do wholesale experimentation.
Christ, why is it so hard to find out the bloody next game?
Surely.
I mean, really, most of it's locked down. Apart from, you'd say, the left-hand side. Although we're all in agreement, O'Reilly looks good, but in theory, you can still question it. And maybe left mid.
I would say quite a lot of it's up in the air, though.
I'd say number 10. Unless Bellingham's club form improves, because Rodgers is doing all right at the minute.
Yeah, but then you've got Cole Palmer potentially coming back in.
I mean,
I can't find any England fixtures.
What? So is Morgan Rodgers what position is Morgan Rodgers?
I don't know. He plays.
Well, I thought he was a winger. So where the fuck has this last week come from?
Yeah,
he's a 10. He's a 10, but Villa play him weirdly on the wing at times. He plays sometimes. He plays off the left at Villa, but he's mainly a 10.
But I mean, I don't feel I've ever seen him play 10. So when does he not become a 10 anymore if he's plays on the wing all the time and doesn't play 10 and doesn't look like a 10? I'd suggest at that point you've got to go. I don't think he's a 10, right?
Yeah, but then he's the one that still says that he prefers to play in a 10.
everyone says that.
Yeah.
I would say until it gets to the point where he's now like, actually, yeah, I'm just going to play off the left.
Right. So because I pay my direct debit to Pure Gym doesn't mean I go to the gym. I can straight up assure you I don't. I still pay my debts to Pure Gym, but yeah, I don't see him as a 10. Okay, as a straight up 10 off, is he a better 10 than Jude Bellingham?
I still don't think Bellingham's a 10 myself.
Oh, now,
Don't confuse the question.
Yeah, now you're really taking the piss.
Well, then we really are screwed. Then we've got a 10 that wants to, we've got a 11 that wants to be a 10, and we've got a 10 that you don't think is 10, and appears to have slept with Tuchel's daughter or something. Strange one. I think what as you'd say Anderson is starting now, isn't he?
Oh, he's nailed on.
It's got to be.
He's got to be, surely.
Anderson,
Yeah.
Rice, yeah.
So Rice is nailed on. Kane's nailed on.
Yeah.
Pickford's nailed on.
Yeah.
Mark Gay's nailed on.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's part of the leadership group now, isn't he, Mark Gay?
Huh?
He's part of the new leadership group, isn't he, Mark Gay?
Was his joining present a fucking injury then?
Stones. Who's going to be the other centre half?
I mean, you'd have to say Stones if Stones is fit.
Yeah, Stones and Gay, you think?
Stones and Gay is a nice centre back pairing. That is nice.
Bit of everything.
So I mean, what's that? That's like 6 or 7, I think I've named.
Saka's going to start, isn't he?
So we've got Saka on the right. So at the minute we've got left back, 2 centre backs, goalkeeper, double pivot in midfield, striker, right winger. So we're missing a right back, a 10, and a left winger.
He usually plays right back. James, I suppose I'd like to see James there. I think you get more of a.
It's the usual question with him about availability, won't it? You know, that'll be the.
But the other thing as well is that when Lewis, Hall, and Gordon are on form, they seem to play really well together because one will cover the other when they're going forward. So if you've got the opportunity, I mean, do you maybe take them to play over you thinking deep down, or no, I think maybe there's better players in the squad. If you've got the opportunity to get a winger and a defender that play with each other week in, week out, obviously if they do, of course, I mean that is a big plus, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. They've got to get on form though, because Gordon's been horrible for us so far this season. Lewis Hall's I think he played 90 for the under 21s this week. So he's back and he's in pretty much full fitness. So yeah, I'm still in the camp that once he's fully fit and going, Lewis Hall's our best left back. You can see, I think maybe people haven't seen it from watching Newcastle, but I can see from how much we miss him since he's been out, because we're just nowhere near as good, not even close to being as good.
Yeah.
And I know it's big talk for a left back, but a lot of our play goes through him. He normally has the most touches per game when he plays.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a compliment anytime, isn't it? When someone that plays getting pushed through someone. So,
what's happening, Samir?
Hello.
What was that? What the hell was that?
I think he's on mute.
He's not though. I can see that he's not on mute.
He's lost his voice. He's going to hold signs up like it's Love Actually.
Don't think he knows he's even on the screen yet. Don't think.
Did he think we were starting at 9? You reckon that's what it is?
Oh, I've got no idea. He's got too much medal in that kid. Okay, so who are we setting for right back then? Because obviously you've got Trent, Reece James,
Livramento,
but again he's still out injured. He probably makes the squad Saturday against Man City, but he won't be playing.
I like James.
I think,
versatility.
yeah. I think that's where Tuchel goes if he's available. I mean, I think with like in the group stages, that's one of the positions that might rotate a bit. So I'm not sure James is going to have like every 3 or 4 days in him.
Yeah.
But certainly in the bigger games, you think that like he's going to go for James.
Do you think then he rotates his fullbacks both sides? Because he always used to like Reece James as an inverted fullback. And Reece James and Lewis Hall probably don't work as a pairing because Lewis Hall does a bit of that naturally as well. So it could be one of those that he switches depending on which he wants to invert.
Possible.
Interesting to see, though. It's good that England have got so many options.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're complaining about something we've never really experienced. Like, you can genuinely question quite a few positions in the team.
I was going to say, if you went back to 2024, it's like left backs was something that we were screaming out for, let alone like arguing over which one of like you put where. So
yeah,
we used to still saying, does Graham Lasso still play? Something like Jamie Redknapp and Steve McManaman out on the left because we haven't got anyone that can play there.
Yeah,
I know we're pushing up slightly to like left mid, but does anyone remember when it was cool to say that Alan Thompson should be in the England side because he was left-footed?
I'm sure Jack does remember that.
Like, that was like a massive call for you. Like, well, not, around that sort of Euro 2004 time, there was the big sort of because we were playing like Scholes or Gerrard off the left quite a bit. There was a very sort of like England sort of 4-4-2 argument that you should pick Alan Thompson simply on the basis he's left-footed.
Well, that's why Steve Guppy got his cap as well.
Steve Guppy. Wow.
Yeah, no. That's a pub quiz question, isn't it?
Some wild names.
Can you hear me now?
Mitch,
Yeah,
you
we
said
can hear you.
Okay, good.
I was going to say, Mitch, you were saying that you watched Albania and that.
Yeah.
What do you make like in terms of like playoff contenders and stuff like that? Like who do you think could be the stronger teams that are in those playoff berths at the minute?
I don't even know who's in the playoff burst, to be honest with you, John.
I think Italy.
Ireland have made it somehow.
I think Italy's one.
Yeah.
Ireland have made it. Depending on tomorrow night, Wales and Scotland could be in there.
They let anyone in these days.
Pretty much, yeah.
Turkey, Ukraine.
Speaking of Italy, did you see Gattuso's outbursts? Oh my god! I saw some.
Wow, there's loads in it. Jesus.
Yeah, there is.
I saw a scoreline. I didn't see an outburst.
I found some clip. Obviously, this is after they lost 4-1 to Norway, and he's like,
at home.
Yeah, he's like, in South America, there's 10 teams and 5 qualifier, and the 6th person has a playoff against someone from Oceania. He's like, Africa has too many spots. There's too many teams at the World Cup. And he was just complaining about everything. I was like, yeah, Italy, if you can't get to a World Cup, it's pretty much an Italian problem. You can't be blaming other continents.
Wait, is Sweden in the playoffs then?
No.
Before they finish rock bottom, because this one I'm reading here, it says who's guaranteed for a playoff spot. This was written 9 hours ago. And it's got pot 1, Italy. That's all that's in there in a minute. Pot 2's got no one in it. Pot 3's got Albania plus Kosovo, unless they beat Switzerland by 6 goals. Romania, Sweden, and Northern Ireland in pot 4.
Yeah, I don't understand.
With Turkey and Ukraine likely to be in pot 1.
They rock bottom with 1 point.
How is that possible? I thought
You say Northern Ireland?
Yeah.
Northern Ireland are in the top. It's a straight shootout tonight between Germany and Slovakia, isn't it? And that's the same group as Northern Ireland.
Yeah, they've missed out. They've definitely missed out.
BBC just
I say it's a straight shootout, but Germany were winning 4-0 at half time. So I mean, that's
As you do.
Yeah. They've just fired a rocket launcher at it just to fucking finish it. Yeah.
Someone turned up with a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah.
This is still Northern Ireland are in it because of the Nations League.
What?
So is Sweden.
Wow.
We've got qualified as group winners: Croatia, England, France, Norway, Portugal. Confirmed in playoffs as group runners-up: Albania, Czech, Italy, Republic of Ireland, Ukraine. Confirmed in players via Nations League route: Romania, Sweden, Northern Ireland. Either North Macedonia or Wales will fill the other slot, depending on who finishes third in Group J.
Wow.
There you go. So that's why Northern Ireland are in there.
Jeez, it's getting harder and harder to work out who gets into a fucking tournament these days. isn't
Honestly, man.
Yeah,
I've given up.
mental, innit?
it? I'll just wait till I get the old wall chart in the paper a week before the tournament.
Yeah, blue tack it to the wall.
Yeah.
That wall chart's going to be massive, though, isn't it? It's not going to be like your standard.
Gonna need a bigger wall.
It's going to be like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's got all the red tires like a murder investigation.
Who
Well,
plays
to be
where?
fair, you're pretty much going to insolvency just trying to complete a sticker album at this point. Like 48 teams is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is just bonkers, isn't it?
What size squads are they going to have? Like 26?
It's 28, I think. No?
Yeah.
28?
So either 26 or 28.
I thought I heard 26.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, man.
I thought I heard 26.
Madness. Pure
Just
madness.
just on the Italy thing, I was actually reading an article about it
There we go.
this morning, and they were saying that because if they don't qualify, that's 3 World Cups in a row.
Mental.
No, that's crazy.
Wow.
He's mad.
That's crazy.
And they were saying that when they didn't qualify the first time, it was apocalyptic. And he was like, so, I mean, that's already probably the most extreme word you can think of. And then they didn't do it again the next World Cup. So I don't know if there's actually a word for how bad it'll be. I mean,
I don't get it though, man. Italy's got a very strong squad. I don't know how they're struggling like this.
oh, and then of course, in between
Okay,
all that,
pretty
he
good.
was in the Euros final just to really
Yeah.
take the piss.
What, Bolton?
So,
I wouldn't put it past you.
but yeah, my mate was in the Norway end last night in Italy as well. So
Superb.
absolutely. I just said to him, I was like, mate, you don't know you're fucking born. Like 4 goals in the away end, second half in Italy, like to obviously put the seal on qualification. You got that big English-born, may I just say, English-born freak. Imagine if we had Haaland and Kane up front.
Oh, stop it.
Yuck.
Stop it.
I would. He's English-born, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He is. Then how the hell you chose Norway? The fuck?
He
I
didn't
didn't
change
know-
to Norway. He's Norwegian. He's just
No,
born
but
in
like-
England.
Like he was born
Yeah,
in
born in Leeds, wasn't he?
They're quick enough, like should have jumped in it.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
But I'm looking at the Italy squad now.
depressing thought, wasn't it?
Actually, a good squad, a very good squad.
Could have had him.
Don't know how they're struggling.
Jeez. Like, what do you reckon? Like Norway's chances would be given like how imperious he is. Like is he enough to sort of take him on a run by himself? Or
Potentially.
It's by himself. Hello, they've got Odegaard as well. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, who's that guy? That guy's only got one ankle though.
It's so true.
Mate, ever since he tried toughening himself up with that goatee, he's turned a bit soft, hasn't he?
He can't even shoot with his laces anymore. His ankles that week.
You're about the captain. Did you say he was going to carry him by himself?
just De Bruyne by any chance?
No, it's Odegaard.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I've just thought of something else in terms of Norway because they've got an ex-Wigan player. Discussed him, Asgard, and he's English-born as well. And I know he scored a few. So Haaland scored 16, which is just a flat-out fucking joke, and he scored 4. So actually, of Norway's 37, which is also a joke, goals, 20 were scored by Englishmen.
Oh.
didn't they scored like 11 in one game, didn't they?
Yeah.
Couple of
Well,
months
that's how I
back.
knew that guy had scored because he came on and scored a hat trick, and or might have scored 4 in the second half.
Flat trap bully.
37 in qualifying is absolutely ridiculous, though, right?
Mate, they've
Oh,
got their strikers is just
15
literally
more than
just
us.
put the ball in the box.
They still got John Carew.
No, Haaland, Sorloth, and Strand Larsen.
Ooh.
Go down with
You
10 to go. Put all 3 of them on and just.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
How much of these tight games happen in the World Cup? Like it's, they're going to score, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to score a bag load of goals.
That's the thing. Like, would you have them in there as like I know dark horse is a bit strong because that implicates they could go and win it, but
Why can't they though?
Nah.
yeah, I mean,
To be
I
fair,
suppose.
There's only about four days of sunlight in Norway. So I mean, when they're going over to play in America in July, there'll be fucking.
Do you think Haaland will melt?
They're just going to put fucking natural yogurt on instead of any sun cream. Fucking Greek yogurt on
Haaland will
themselves.
malfunction because his circuit boards aren't used to the heat.
Yeah, he'll overheat.
He hasn't got a good enough cooling system.
No.
Oh man.
No, but to be fair, think about it. Yeah, they get out their group, which basically means they're just at the start of the World Cup in this World Cup anyway, because you're down to 32
Yeah.
teams. They could literally defend with 7 players and attack with 3, and one of them 3 being Haaland. So they could just win games 1-0 just based on the Haaland factor.
True.
But stranger things have happened than teams just defending and going, right, we've got a cyborg up front. Just get him the ball and he will score once. Hope he scores once a game.
It could work. I don't think too many elite nations.
I mean, Greece did it with basically no attackers, didn't they? So you know.
Yeah. Got about 4 goals in the whole tournament.
That's shocking.
I've just realised, obviously, it was Haaland putting it past Donnarumma, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I don't know. Actually, I'm looking at it's Italy's strikers aren't great, are they?
Yeah, they got goal scorers one more, like the olden days.
Decent midfield, but other than that,
Wonderful.
it's like, I don't even think their back three is that decent. They've got a couple of these, like Bastoni's good, but the other 2 are okay. Donnarumma's class. Their midfield is where they're strong.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you wouldn't say they're a top side these days.
Yeah, that left back's dead, isn't he, Samir?
The left back that's playing right now, that played yesterday. Yeah. But to be losing 4-1 against Norway, I know they've got hard.
Samir actually, is he still there or is he fallen asleep? Or,
No, can you not hear Samir? Are we in another seance where John can't hear Samir?
Yes, we are. I haven't heard, brother. I haven't heard a word, and because I've been standing over there cooking, I haven't even looked at the screen yet. So,
yeah, no, Samir's here. Samir's communicating.
Oh, brother, mate, it's good to see you.
John's in the.
He ain't heard a single thing I've said.
Yes, I can hear you now. What's going on? What the?
Don't know what's happened there. To be fair, John, you've been winning for 10 minutes because we've had to listen to him. So,
hey, fuck off.
Bro, I've probably been talking over you and all sorts, mate. I didn't. I'm so sorry, brother. Yeah, so that's like for once. That's not just me being a prick. I genuinely couldn't hear you.
Don't hold grudges, man. I'll move on.
Right, quick bit before we get into the main sort of topic for the evening. Popped up earlier from a couple of weeks ago, but this is our fantasy league at the minute. Stocky's top, Sam second, Jack third. I've had an absolute mare over the last few weeks. But John's, where are you, Samir? What are you doing? What are you playing at?
Yeah, it was too late for me, man. It was too late for me. Next year.
No, but have you not got a team at all then?
No, none.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't done it in years. I didn't know about this. I was fuming.
In his defence, bottling one league's bad enough. You can't have him do 2 in a season, can you?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Now he can hear you. He can throw shots at me.
I can't afford to go through 2 heartbreaks, man. And then, God forbid.
Okay. Good bit on the international football. Right. What I wanted to talk about this evening is the evolution of footballing positions. Because over the years, you've seen... We'll start at fullback and you'll sort of get what we're going on about here. So at fullbacks, back in the day, you had your Gary Nevilles, your Ian Harts, Stephen Carrs. You had players of that ilk that were all a similar type. I'm talking over in England at the minute because obviously you had your Roberto Carlos's and Cafus that were a completely different breed and your Zanettis. But fullbacks, what I always used to say is to play fullback, you need to be able to do a correct turn and clip it line. They're the 2 things you need to do to be a fullback. You don't need to do anything else. One correct turn and you clip it line. That is all you need. Yeah. But now it's become a lot more technical position. We were speaking about Lewis Hall earlier, who normally has most touches of the ball for Newcastle when he plays. They're a lot more involved in the game, and I feel something that highlights this massively is Trent leaving Liverpool and how they've lost so much of their team from losing that. They've lost a few other bits, but losing that guy in that position, I think that is massive to what's going wrong for them at the minute. How are people seeing, feeling, and want to chip in on the evolution of the fullback role?
I mean, is it just cheap to say that we're loving it in terms of Liverpool's demise, or is that a...
Oh yeah, that goes without saying though, to be fair. I think everybody
I think that's next
who
week's show.
is a non-Liverpool fan is loving the Liverpool demise right now.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because fullback wasn't a sexy position, and then there were some, basically, the good fullbacks that incite the romantic nostalgia of football were pretty sexy footballers, like Roberto Carlos, who is arguably one of the most overrated free kick takers of all time, and I stand on that hill.
Yeah.
And then now it's become like a sexy position, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Like,
People
you
actually
kinda-
want to be a fullback, whereas you'd be like, "Oh, I want to be a fullback," and your dad would just get the belt out and
get the belt out and buy you a cricket bat.
yeah. Not in this house.
Yeah, because like it does sort of fall into that remit now. Because now we've like the England fullbacks we spoke about. Like I've completely forgot the guy's name. We'll start with Lewis Skelly.
Oh, now.
The guy from Man City who I've completely forgot his
O'Reilly.
name. All of a sudden.
O'Reilly.
Nico O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Both played midfield in their youth team. Nico O'Reilly was a 10
Yeah.
in his youth team. Lewis Hall
Yeah.
was a DM in his youth team. All of these players are just becoming right backs. It's mad.
Yeah.
Well, lest we forget, like one of the best full... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I'd say it's a football trend in that everyone wants to control the ball now. Like in the 90s, you had to defend as a fullback. Like unless you had the ball, you was never like more than like 5 to 7 yards away from your centre half, unless the winger was there. You know what I mean? It was all about being compact. But now, as a fullback, you're on the touchline and it's constantly forward thinking. Like, I'd say that's how the evolution's changed, because they're just essentially attackers that sometimes stand in defensive positions, because not many of them defend very well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the fun part of playing fullback, though. It's the attacking part. That's the fun part. That's what everyone wants to do when they're playing there. No one really wants to defend anymore. It's about attacking and getting involved. And that's what the evolution has become nowadays.
Yeah. John, you was going to chirp in a minute ago?
I was just going to say, like going back to the whole sort of like talking about where certain players used to play, like one of the sort of most renowned fullbacks of England's like all time, really, Ashley Cole. He started out as a forward, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was a striker.
Youth.
That's a good example at left back. Like,
But I think Ashley Cole's was like a 12-year-old striker.
Yeah.
And by
okay.
he was a
Yeah, they don't
fullback,
count.
whereas Nico O'Reilly was in like the under 21s as a number 10.
Oh, fair, yeah, fair.
but yeah, even like Ashley Cole, who's relatively not that long ago, you would say he was an excellent. He certainly became an excellent defender. Wouldn't say his attacking output was amazing. Like he was fit and could get up and down the line.
I would. No, he was involved in a lot of our play.
Yeah, but it wasn't getting numbers, was he? He was.
It's not like
That's
now,
right.
is it?
I
It was
said,
decoy runs more than anything, wasn't he?
yeah.
I mean, he was good. I think he was like genuinely world class. A lot of people went on about some of England's other players. I thought he was, if he was making a world 11 for a good time, he had his name on the
Hell
left.
yeah. Oh yeah. For Arsenal and Chelsea, to be fair.
Yeah.
For Arsenal and Chelsea, I thought he was world class.
Well, he's usually in the Premier League best team ever, isn't he? So
Yeah.
Yeah. If he doesn't
Rightfully
get
so.
when anybody puts a Premier League X11 together, if he doesn't get mentioned at left back, they don't know what they're talking about.
well, he's arguably one of the I don't know 4 or 5 absolute locks. You cannot argue against this. It's clearly the answer is Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
Next position.
Yeah.
Unless you're Roy Keane and he'll just bang on about Dennis Irwin for half hour, but you know.
Jeez, that's true.
Dennis Owen's only problem in that conversation is it wasn't long enough in the Premier League. I agree,
Yeah, that's fair.
talent-wise, he was a fantastic
He
player.
was.
but it wasn't long enough in the Premier League for me.
Mm.
So Dennis Irwin's probably a very good one to add to this list. How are you feeling as a sort of an Ian Hart and a Leighton Baines and a Dennis Irwin after spending all them years being the old left back and now seeing where left backs are going? Whereas these kind of players would suit a modern left back position as well.
Yeah.
Like they must be looking on thinking, slightly wrong area. I could have been a hero.
Yeah, Dennis Irwin would have to do a lot more runs though, and he might have gone, "Oh, fuck this." Like
Too much. He weren't like.
yeah, fullbacks, right? When I was a kid, you were too young to start centre half because you get bullied, so they used to shove a young centre half at fullback, or it was just a defender that weren't tall enough to play centre half.
Yeah.
And you just learned to defend that way. You sort of backed up the midfielder, and if the ball's on the other side, you cover the centre half. That's all you had to do, really.
Yeah.
But as you say, now you've got to be like up and down for 90 minutes, give it width. Certain managers, you have to drop into centre midfield and distribution and all these attacking factors and footballing factors. You'd say sometimes the old defending part has waned somewhat.
Yeah, it has.
I'm a bit more old-fashioned and would, like a bit of defensive stability in there.
Julian Dix.
I wouldn't say stability. I wouldn't say stability is the first word that would come to mind.
Especially if we're talking mental stability.
Yeah.
Just being sober would be a start, wouldn't it?
So like Stuart Pearce, that was someone that was like defended as a left back, would get up, but that's purely as like an overload or something like that. Whereas Mitch said like a decoy run. Yeah, that position has evolved so much.
My last one on the fullbacks, because the more I think about it, the more I just see it as a really clever bit of coaching. Because as someone who's now played literally every position on the football pitch, I actually used to quite like fullback because like I was quick enough to cover any winger, and you get so much time on the ball. And wingers are stupid when trying to tackle. They come charging in, it's one little chop, and they're miles away.
And that's it, yeah.
And you just end up in acres loads of the time. I was like, this is actually quite fun back here. I can do what I want. And it seems like coaches have realised that that's the position that gets a lot of space on the ball quite naturally in a football match, and thought, right, let's make these players a lot more important in the game.
But that also then links back to your original point, though, of saying how these players that have moved from midfield.
I was just about to say that.
You actually want these players to be the ones that can, because I think I'm sure Pep's actually name checked it, or maybe it might even been Fergie where they've been talking about like saying it's like if you could get another midfielder in your left or right back position, then obviously that gives you an advantage.
Like Kimmich, Lahm, when you say Pep, just made me think of them two straight away. Were perfect examples of players that pull back and like hold in mid. Seamless.
Quality stuff. Trying to think what the next best position to talk about. No, I'm not going to link it in terms of referencing fullback to the next closest position. I'm just going to go straight in number 10s.
Oh, fuck this.
It's the position for me that has changed the most in my time watching football, because 10s used to be Sheringham, Bergkamp, Zola. These guys that were the second striker, just off the front man, played in a 4-4-2, were not midfield players, had no defensive duties. Eric Cantona, when he wasn't playing as a 9, wander around the pitch, get on the ball. Matt Letitia, these guys. Now, we're now sort of pivoting back, but the last sort of 10 years, 10s have been midfielders. You've got 2 at the base, 1 in front. Your 10 does a little bit of everything. Has a few defensive sort of responsibilities, but not loads.
Stand at the near post for corners just to head anything that comes in.
Yeah, and it's a different type of physicality to them type of 10s.
Yeah.
Now we seem to be slowly transitioning back to a less physical 10, but they're still midfielders at the end of the day. So,
I mean, at the risk of being cancelled here, I think transitioning, you've just used a very clever word, James. Ultimately, anyone can come up to you in this day and age and say, I identify as X. So you've just got all these men going, oh, I actually, I'm a 10. No, I don't think you are a 10, actually. And like, oh, well, I identify as a 10. Oh, right, well, great. Okay, well, that shuts me up.
Morgan Rogers.
I have nothing else I can say then. If you say you're a 10, then yeah, okay, buddy, you can be a 10 if you want. Because I don't know what a 10 is anymore. So I just don't think.
I think we're lost in that period of the change where you've got some people that still play, like when Szoboszlai was playing last season for Liverpool, he was their 10. But he's not a 10 in my eyes. He was playing 10 for them, but he was a sort of a
box to box.
He's an 8.
Yeah, but he is an 8, but most of last season he played in the 10 for Liverpool, which was just weird. And now they've gone to WtOS, which is the complete
but then now he's been chucked to the left. So that role ain't working too much nowadays, I think.
Yeah, it's going to take time for it to get back, because I've said this a few times. What now modern 10s, if they're going to go a little bit smaller, a little bit diminutive, they're competing against absolute monsters in the 6 week in, week out. Like, number 6s are monsters. They're like normally the tallest, strongest, quickest player on the pitch, who just loves a tackle a lot of the time and can play. So to put a little diminutive 10 up against that defensively is basically suicide.
Yeah,
I think what else changed, sort of, when you go back to like Bergkamp, Zola, Sheringham's, especially in this country, it was very much a rigid 4-4-2. So a 10 back then would always just drop off the centre halves, just find that space in between midfield, because obviously midfield then you sort of, it was just like two box to box players then, weren't they? You used to do a bit of everything. So a player like Letizia would go find these gaps, link play, turn, have shots. Obviously, he wouldn't run at people, but players like Zola would. And so it was a very different position. But now you're talking about the big 6s. You didn't have a dedicated holding midfielder back then. So if there's no freedom for a 10 to go find them things, in football these days, it's so structured that they haven't got the freedom to just say, just go look for spaces and we'll get it to you when we can. They had to dig in and join in, because if you ain't finding spaces or creating something, don't just stand there. You need to fucking get back with the rest of us. And I think that's what distorted it, if you know what I mean.
I think it's like you say, there's a bigger emphasis on kind of like what goes on off the ball now. And actually, there will be 10s that are kind of expected to press from the front and things like that. And that obviously would never have happened back in like the Zola, Sheringham sort of. That expectations weren't there.
Letizia, close him down.
Oh, dude.
So, little question out. Go on, Jack. Sorry.
So, but I do just think that because of people wanting to become and remain more attacking, people are now thinking and wanting to be 10s or identifying as such, so that they can just ensure they have a consistent attacking outlook. Like Szoboszlai, he's not a 10. He's categorically not a fucking 10. He's never has been a 10. He's actually probably, and this is actually a compliment, he's probably pretty close to, if you wanted to build an 8, or you had to open up a dictionary and it was like, what is a modern number 8 that can play in the Premier League, high energy? You'd be like, yeah, it's pretty strong number 8.
Yeah.
So I think it's just people that don't want to cut their attacking side of the game out. They just say, oh, I'm a 10. Like, well, that doesn't mean you can't. You can still track back, buddy. But like, it doesn't mean just because you literally have a 10. I mean, you don't even wear number 10 anyway. That stopped 40 years ago, didn't it? No one cares about numbers now. But I just think that it's the natural want to be attacking that people shoehorn these number 10s in. I think that's sort of what it boils down to.
I like this take.
Yeah.
So
I genuinely agree with that.
it's which I get, and it's other than probably the Allardyce family, he wouldn't get the belt out if you said I wanted to be a defender. But I mean, it is the natural joy of wanting to be attacking that obviously has made it that sort of position.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because who was the last out and out 10? Ozil?
Yeah.
Who would have been later, Ozil or David Silva?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but David, yeah.
Oh yeah, similar, almost.
But I mean, what I'm talking about, you open up a dictionary. Oh, you just go, Ozil is a 10.
Yeah.
Always was going to be a 10.
I'll say Ozil.
And he's just literally what a 10 is. He ain't going to track back
Yeah,
for you ever. So you need some people built around him to do that for him. And that's what you do. You take that hit because you get in and you want that. You're happy to take that payoff of them being that 10.
Thinking of around the same time, Schneider, he was a bit of a 10 for me because he couldn't run back.
Yeah.
Like real dictator.
He barely turned up for training, which, what a guy.
Good behaviour, that.
Yeah, proper. Van der Vaart.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I was
good
another
shout.
one. Yeah.
Good shout.
Yeah, real wonderful technicians of the ball, but don't really want to do running. I think but maybe that's our nostalgia kicking in, just enjoying that. I still kind of like it.
Maybe we're just like in some sort of social experiment until someone finally cracks it. Where someone walks in and goes, "What position are you?" I'm actually a 10. Great, you're playing left back. And also,
mate, you say that. That used to happen for me at Hale End. Like, when I play up front, I had to play left wing back for the first team. Like, what's going on here?
That is so true.
What do you mean you're not a keeper? Why does everyone always say that?
You're built like a keeper. Get in there.
You're going to go.
Speaking of keepers, that's changed a lot as well.
Well, I wasn't going to.
Well, they're number 10s as well now, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, really, they're left back.
No, they really are.
Yeah. That's what it is, actually. Yeah, you're right.
Fucking Edison is.
Edison had like 3 assists a season.
It's like, in the 90s, Nick Pope would have been a hero.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right? Caught crosses, well, mostly.
Not recently.
Not recently. Let's just say, for the most part, catch crosses, save shots, can throw the ball maybe to the halfway line, can boot the ball really high in the air. That's all you had to do in the 90s. But now you need so much more about your game.
Yeah, he is a bit of a throwback. I agree with that.
He is very much a throwback. He is probably the most throwback keeper in, I'm gonna say, in English football at the minute. Like I even when I'm watching the lower leagues, you see some technically decent keepers.
Yeah.
In the Premier League, he's by far the most throwback keeper there is.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I can't think of anyone else.
I can't think of anybody else even close. Like the ball goes to him on the floor to his feet, and in my mind, I'm thinking he's either going to give it away or he's going to kick it out for a throw-in. 70% of the time, I'm right. I wish I was right 70% of the time when I put money on things, but I'm not. But 70% of the time, I'm right. He either does a silly pass and it goes to their player, or goes out for a throw-in close to the box, or he just whacks it long and it goes out for a throw-in. It's weird.
But again, for the most part, excellent shot stopper.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of times you'll go, good save. And then you get a bit more high pitch when you didn't expect to go, oh, that's good save.
Yeah.
Like, he does lots of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, like last few weeks, notwithstanding. But yeah, but for a lot of other keepers now, you're like, oh, well, they can't catch a ball. They'll try and punch it. They'll run into their own defender and fall over. And they can zing it.
Yeah.
And like, could you imagine Peter? We'll not do Peter Schmeichel for this example because he weren't too bad off the deck. Say like Seaman. Could you imagine him just like sidewindering one on the half volley to like Merson, who's dropped out left. Like, no. But that's essential now for a quick.
Yeah. It's what everyone's looking at now.
Yeah.
We're not looking at saying more.
Like, are we Jack's favourite word of the night, transition? Like, it's got to be like zappy, but then keepers would catch it and you do the old keeper drop until his defence got out.
Yeah.
And then you just hoof it in the air.
Yeah, there's none of that. There ain't none of that.
Different.
That's the bit like distribution's essential now, right? It's I don't know, Matt. Yeah, sorry, Matt. How much like reliant we are on keepers for that? But
Is it me or is it since I think it was the David De Gea came into the league, everyone started to watch that because he at the start of his career at United he started this whole distribution thing and everyone was watching out for that. Because before that, I don't think anyone really looked at that. That's where it all started seeing.
Joe Hart as well. You could argue as well, like when Pep came in.
Not as good as De Gea though. De Gea.
No, I think John's saying Joe Hart got phased out because he couldn't play out.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant the kicking part of it.
Like he was a fucking leper, and he's like, "Wait, I'm sure. Aren't I just meant to like stop goals?" Like, no.
Yeah.
But that said, he was still probably 10 times better than Nick Pope is with the ball at his feet. Like, it's not like he was. I never looked at Joe Hart and thought he was terrible with his feet.
Yeah.
But there was a certain level that Pep was expecting you to be at. And he clearly wasn't that either.
Oh yeah, you basically had to be a 10 that then transitioned into a DM that then transitioned into left back and then became a goalkeeper.
Do you know what it really kicked off with? Neuer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was like where all this goalkeeper playing at starting.
Oh yeah.
Well, no,
maybe not the start. If you want to go right back to the start, we have to talk about Jose Chilabert, surely.
Oh,
All right,
That's just like the ultimate.
Yeah, all right, give you that.
Another one who's probably looking at today's game and thinking, I was in the wrong era, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
Could have been a left back.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Imagine how many assists he would have got because he won't.
Yeah, I know. Mad. Used to love taking free kicks with him on pro.
Yeah.
Who was the other one that played for Sao Paulo? Began with C, the Brazilian keeper, Sensini or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's just Ceni. I think it's just Ceni.
Yeah. Rodrigo Ceni. Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah. I think he's got the most goals for a goalkeeper in professional football.
One that took pennies.
Took pennies and free kicks.
Yeah, I thought so.
Mad, really.
No Mavericks.
Yeah, you used to have Mavericks in goal. Now we haven't got any anywhere.
Yeah.
You mentioned free kicks on pro there, Mitch. Have you guys seen? Sorry, it's a bit of a swerve this one, but like, have you seen that the new thing that the new Pez is doing, with like the throwback like '99 season or whatever?
Oh yeah, someone's created it, haven't they? On one of the newer games.
Yeah, it looks bonkers. So I'll send in a video into the group on it. But it's just like I'm not like a gamer guy at all, but like that really caught my attention. Just because it looks so sort of so yeah, just the retro nature of it. I feel like it will tickle a few people in it.
Yeah, definitely send that.
Might have to see if there's an actual game version of it as well. Right, last position, the number 6. That when don't know about Samir, but I think when the rest of us first started watching football, it wasn't even a position. It was you had 2 midfielders, one went, one stayed. That was it. You were both 8s. There was no differentiating of what your role was. If the other guy's already gone, you stay. Or it was making sure you go so you didn't have to stay, which was always my little trick when I played in the 2. And then Claude Makelele comes in.
Yes.
It's a whole new position.
Yeah.
And now it's evolved to one of the key positions on the football pitch. They're the playmaker, deep line playmaker. And sometimes you've got your Vitinhas, everything goes through the 6. But then you have your Caicedo's absolute monster that defends, shields his back 4 very well, tackles, doesn't really just give it 10 yards like a Czech Toyota used to do, can play a little bit as well. So yeah, it's another position that's, we say it's evolved, it's literally appeared and evolved from that point since we've been watching football.
I think it's one that we watched like evolve in, like as England fans anyway. Like we watched that one kind of evolve in real time around us, because I think for a long time, like you said, there was always that Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard debate and all of that, and it was almost because we were reluctant to kind of either like to have a six, whether that be more in the guise of I'm not like. I've got to admit, like you guys will probably be able to correct me. Like maybe like a Hargreaves would have been like your better six in terms of like sold a bit more like foot on the ball. But then you could also argue you could have had someone like Carrick there that like could have done it for tempo purposes. And it's like I think as England fans, we kind of watched that number six position evolve at a time when we just kind of like buried our heads in the sand and doubled down on it. And arguably, us kind of catching on to that a bit sooner, we could have maybe gone on and done something. I think that was probably one of the biggest areas that England suffered in.
Yeah, well, we pivoted away from it, didn't we? Because was it 96 or 98? Who was it? Venables or Hoddle? I think it was Hoddle. He played a weird hybrid system that involved having a deep line midfielder who just kind of sat in there.
Was it Batty?
I think it would have been Batty or Ince that he used in the majority of the time.
Yeah. I don't think he ever used to use both at the same time, but like he might. I don't know. Maybe against some of the bigger sides, he might have done.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'd say I find a big change with midfielders was the ferocity of them. They were like central midfielders back then had to be fierce, if you know what I mean. So. I'll pick two of the best midfielders now and two of the best midfielders then. So the two best midfielders then, Roy Keane and Vieira. Whilst excellent players, you don't want to be in the trenches against them two, do you?
No.
Like, that's just doubly hard. Whereas you'd say the two of the best midfielders now, in Rice and Rodri, they have the physical stature, but I don't know. They just don't strike me as getting down in the dirty by a bollock like Keane.
Ain't got that aggression.
Like Keane and Vieira would. Yeah. I find that a big difference between then and now. The game as a whole, though, they're trying to make it less physical. But
yeah. That's just how the game. They were less imposing and intimidating as they used to be.
Yeah, I kind of prefer the imposing.
Yeah, same. I love like the David Batties of this world and guys like that just smash people up in the air if they really had to. You don't really get that anymore.
Yeah, you just got a cough and someone gets a yellow card now. Yeah, but it's true, isn't it?
It's true, yeah.
It's true. And people get booked for bad manners, basically, isn't it? Like people fucking kicking up, getting booked for bad manners. Like fuck me, like these. So this is what I used to do. I used to talk to my dad about this all the time. But like, I just remember like sometimes of watching Bolton against United, and obviously I'd want to win so much, and like you just had Carrick and Fletcher next to each other, and our players just could literally just do nothing. Just couldn't get through him, couldn't get past him. Like they all looked like they were rapid, but they weren't rapid. It's just because their brain was like half a second quicker. Just like, oh, how is he there now? And like they just play together, and you just be like, it's just fucking. What are you meant to do with them two? They're both basically the same mold of player. Oh, well, obviously Carrick was a slightly better passer or whatever, and it's mad how that. I mean, they're probably almost borderline old school.
Yeah.
Like because you know they someone like Darren Fletcher would probably not be able to keep up. Like I don't think he would start for a top level team now. Certainly, if you had someone like Carrick next to him, because you just would need more versatility than that.
Yeah.
But in that era, they just were perfect, weren't they, for what he needed?
Whereas Carrick, put him in today's game, and you're probably looking at one of the best sixes in the world.
That's true.
Yeah.
Real searching, sort of Busquets kind of domination tempo setting sort of thing, I'd say.
Yeah.
Just spraying it to his goalkeeper at left back. when his reserve goalkeeper's making overlap runs, he's just finding him every time. Tell you what, though, if you went up to most professional midfielders and said, "Look, our keeper's going to go up. You need to hit him," I bet magically every corner would be perfect.
Yeah, potentially.
That ball gets turned over, your keeper's up there.
Yeah.
That's what you should treat every single corner like. Imagine, because also, if you notice about it, whenever there's a delivery for a corner when the keeper goes up, the corner's always usually in and around. The ball is usually bouncing around. You're like, well, have that mentality every fucking time. I appreciate you haven't got that problem at the moment, Samir, but so have that mentality with every fucking corner. Maybe that's what it is. Sorry, Declan, if I've just given your game away, but have that mentality that your corner needs to be perfect. If they turn it over, your keeper is in their box. Yeah. So cause some havoc, let him get back. But Carrick is probably old school, isn't he?
He is, but could work at this time as well. So that's the thing. Tidy player.
I suppose, like from a modern standpoint, the nearest version to that kind of someone that's going to smash and get a booking sort of thing is probably Paulinho, right? At Spurs. So probably say in terms of that sort of six, because there aren't many of them like now. But like when you sort of watch Spurs, and like particularly when you think about what they were missing a year ago. I don't know. Like that from that more physical kind of six. I think it's more Paulinho at the minute.
I think Casemiro's got a little bit of that about him.
Yeah, he does. Some games.
Yeah, fair. That's true.
There's a few. I think probably a Lukic and a Sandberg and people like that are similar-ish, but not really to that extent.
But in a very quick period of time, though, Casemiro, I know he's aged, of course, but that role, you actually look at it and go, oh, it's a bit too much reliability. That just doesn't wash now to have that Casemiro. Not doubting what he's won, obviously, but you now look at it and you're like, it's not worth that risk of having someone that's like that, because.
He's been doing well now recently, though. He's been playing quite well for United. I think he scored for Brazil in international stage. I think
you need legs around him. I think that's what's changed now.
Yeah,
they're fully aware of
his flaws.
If he needs legs around him, if he's playing in a pivot with Bruno Guimaraes, he's not going to have any legs anywhere near. He's one of the slowest players I've ever seen. Class, but slow.
I like what they're doing. It's like with the new guys, Kuna and
Waymo.
Yeah. They've gone, well, it's like, you joined the club newest, you can do the fucking running. So I'll tell you what, we'll get someone else to make the brews, but you've got to do all the running.
Yeah.
You're new.
100%.
Us five will stay here, you five go up there, and then we'll meet in the middle sometimes.
Yeah. We might start inviting you on the team nights out when it gets to like December. See if you make the Christmas do.
They got two separate ones, attackers and defenders.
Colin, right, let's do a brief bit on this last thing I wanted to talk about. And no, it's not fantasy football again. I haven't figured out how to change that.
I wouldn't if I was fourth either, mate, to be honest.
Do you know what the annoying thing is? Because it's my login, it just highlights me every time. So I just can't get away from it.
You didn't pick up then, mate.
Yeah, I know. We regroup. International break, we're regrouping. Right, so I believe there's a proposal in to change the PSR slightly to two different things. I think it's called SCR and TBA, which is squad cost control ratio and top to bottom anchoring rules. Has anybody heard or read too much about this? Because I'm going to be honest, I don't know loads about it, but Stocky sent a tweet the other day and it sounds like an interesting change.
Yeah. Well, after reading that tweet, because the one I got was West Ham related, and I was like, I've not paid attention to this. Maybe it's like slid in, but so I did some further reading. So we currently have PSR. Apparently, the SCR has been run in the background by the Premier League because already was it 8 or 9 clubs have to use those rules as well to play in Europe because that's what UEFA use.
Okay.
So it's slightly different. And they're looking to bring it in, but there's a vote to determine the structure of it. Because if you look in the middle category, the top to bottom anchoring is causing quite the stir. I think that's what, because I don't know if anyone else, you may have seen it on various news feeds. The PFA are saying like it's illegal. You're limiting people's earning potential and whatnot and things like that. Because obviously some footballers just don't earn enough and it's not fair.
Yeah.
And then you have people like Simon Jordan saying, well, then you'll get poor players earn more money because, it's very silly.
Wait, so this TBA, this top to bottom anchoring, the only line I've read on it is that it's 5 times
the lowest earner
income from the bottom. So every team has to abide by what the bottom club in the league earns times by 5.
That'd be your maximum. So this was based off a couple of years ago, and the team that were rock bottom were Sheffield United, and they earn 110 million. So the most any one club could spend would be 550.
550.
Okay.
And that's
what's the definition of spend? Sorry, does that mean wages?
Wages, transfers, agents' fees, all of that stuff.
Yeah, but it depending on how the rules are set, sometimes it doesn't include academies, like the money you put into academies. I imagine the English system would move the academies out of that.
Okay.
Because just to try and promote youth, but all clubs would do is just buy youngsters from abroad and like get them in, sort of like Fabregas.
You can't do that.
I mean,
that's not particularly easy after Brexit now.
Yeah, well they'll have to focus on getting.
But it isn't easy just to sign youth team players anymore, is it? Is it just from random clubs?
From abroad, no, it's certainly not. But
from abroad, I mean, yeah.
But
so then I can tell you what will happen.
Go on.
Is that your bigger clubs will just absolutely fucking harvest youth team players, which I already think they do to ridiculous levels now. I actually personally think it's probably just a little bit too Yankee Doodle Danish, which I wouldn't want to happen in football, of course, let alone soccer. But you can't have the bigger clubs just because that's what they're doing. They would just take everyone from academies. It'll just be like a free for all to get the best players possible and have huge academy squads, because that's what you'd have to do. Because I'm pretty sure academies in that have always been out of PSR rules like that, haven't they? Like academies and stadium spend, it's been out of there, I thought.
Yeah, it is. So the SCR is more stringent to a degree than the current PSR things. So with PSR, you can the most you can lose in a 3-year period is 105 million, whereas the new one says, well, you can only spend to this degree. So there'll be no there'll be no losses. You still have to spend within your means. And as I say, it's this top to bottom anchoring that's causing the stir. And there's a vote very soon about it, I believe. Because obviously you need 14 out of 20 for something to pass. And you can imagine the clubs that are against the top to bottom anchoring. So there is Man United, Chelsea, Aston Villa. Funnily enough, I didn't see Newcastle mentioned in it, but sort of those teams that have either got someone to pump money in or can make massive revenues are obviously against it. Whereas other Premier League teams were like, well, we want this to just make it more of a competitive league. It's
So
interesting.
City's yearly wage bill is 223 million. So using the Sheffield United thing you've just said, then they could. Well, I suppose 350 million is actually still quite a lot, though, isn't it, for a transfer window? So you said it was 5 times the bottom, and that was 110. So you're talking about 550 million.
Yeah, as a maximum. And I believe UEFA do it in calendar years.
But how could you do it on calendar years when the bottom club's getting relegated?
Well,
So does the Championship have to abide by this as well?
I didn't read that bit. I haven't read that, to be honest. But like, I don't know whether they'd take it from the year previous, but it's whatever. So you've got your projected figures. So what you'd make from revenue. So you kind of know at the beginning of the season, whoever finishes bottom of the league will get this prize money. So you have that and whatever else they earn. So that's calculated. So as I say, I was just going off the example I read. So I'm sure the 20th place would get more than that now. By a few million. Yeah. So it was just. But obviously, the top clubs are like, well, that's not fair on us. Why should our spending be limited by a team that can't produce that? But that's where the problem lies.
But that 110 million, you're just talking, that's the Premier League prize money, aren't you?
No. So I think that's the money they get from the league, and I believe that the phrase I read was football generated money. So I'm pretty sure that'd include sponsorship, would it?
Yeah, I think it's football. I think it did say football generated revenue.
So
would that include like match day revenue and stuff like that?
I'd assume so.
I think it's everything all in. Everything they earn as a club throughout the season through the footballing side of things.
So I just saw a clip last night or today on Instagram, and it was Swansea City's. I'm assuming it was their chairman or someone that was something to do with Swansea City, and he said Swansea's annual salary sponsorship related money, so nothing to do with prize money or anything like that, but sponsorship for everything they get is at 3.5 or 2.9 million. Wrexham's just front of shirt sponsor is 10 million a year.
Jesus.
So just their front of shirt is 10 million a year. So a couple of seasons of that, and then you're already got like, well, Swansea could never compete against that. How the fuck could they compete against it?
Did Man City not do something similar?
Well, apparently that's another caveat to this, is that they're waiting for finally if the result of their case ever finishes, because that could impact this as well. Because there's talking about changing the rules on the findings of their what is it, like 2 million charges or whatever it was.
But if they lose this, I'm sure I read something saying that the Premier League, if City are successful or proved innocent or whatever the terminology would be, which I hope they are, then the Premier League would have lost their last 3 court cases in a row. Leicester beat them. Leicester beat them whenever whether they were relegated, promoted, whatever. I think Leicester were back in the Championship when they were already arguing again. They were still arguing their case, and they won that.
Yeah.
So you can't be losing 3 fucking, because basically it just means that no matter what you do, even if you put a rule in, someone is just going to say no.
Yeah.
No, sorry. And
yeah, it's true.
we're going to see that the rise of like the super autistic accountant that clubs are just going to fucking wheel out once a year, put them back in, put them back on level fucking 2 or -2, whatever floor they usually stay on. Wheel them out, win the case. See you later. It's yeah. You mean you can't argue. It's as soon as you, basically, if a club could be asked, you could find a way to argue against these. Defo, you could just say this means I'm going to have to get rid of someone. They will lose their job because of your new rules. That is not just.
Well, that's what they're starting. Like, I don't know. I'm split on this because in some ways I want to see a more competitive league because I think that's why everyone enjoyed Leicester so much, because you just didn't see it happening, and we'd all like that a bit more. But at the same time, it stops other clubs from trying to get into it. So if anything, it helps the clubs that are already there that make all this money. So say like Newcastle and Villa that want to chuck money at these things to get up at that level. It kind of holds them back and still insulates, but it's bringing other teams trying to make it more of a level playing field.
But it's nowhere near a level playing field. So
it never will be.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand why they're bothering. And also, can I just say the acronym of TBA is absolutely ridiculous. How fucking use TBA? I mean, like, that is literally to be announced. Like, TBA.
Snowed off fixture.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think it's more to stop clubs spending beyond their means to keep them going, if you know what I mean.
So what, you were just basically saying that they should just naturally find their level after a 5-year period or something like that? What, I don't really... I just don't really understand what they do. Because I actually feel for clubs like Newcastle and Villa. Like, you know, I remember many years ago when Portsmouth were going through their issues, and my dad was having an argument with someone on Buzz on way back from game, and he was like, well, look, what we've done is just the equivalent of me remortgaging the house, going on a fucking year-long holiday, and then coming back and being like, oh dear, forgot about all that. Like, but I've had a great time. They had, they won an FA Cup trophy, and they played in Europe. Like, they saw Ronaldinho at Fratton Park. Sorry, John, to bring up these memories of the good times. But then obviously, it went fucking terrible, and they've not really come back. Well, they're on the way back now, aren't they? But, like, I don't know. If people want to take that risk, all you need to do in football is when someone takes over a club, you say you have to put £50 million in a bond. And the only people that can touch that bond are of the Premier League, of the Association of Auditors of administrating accountancy firms of England, whatever it is. You cannot, that money is gone. So if something does go absolutely Pete-tong, there is a very large chunk of money that protects the club, and then you say, spend what you fucking want.
Maybe they're just trying to stop people buying their way up the leagues.
I know, but if you're talking about 550 million versus 110, what does that give you?
Yeah, I know.
You're never going to be able to take that down. Like that is ridiculous. That's City's salary plus them spending nearly 350 million on transfers in that calendar year as well. Well,
it's stupid, isn't it? Because as you say, they're trying to make it a level playing field, but they still absolutely have to pander to the biggest clubs in a way because they're the ones that generate the money in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm not that offended by it. You know, teams like Arsenal, Liverpool, United, City. I mean, it's boring that people say City aren't a big club. They always were a big club, just not very good. And like they have earned that right. But if you just, as soon as you bring up the subject of £500 million versus 100 million, well, straight away it's losing its fucking context, isn't it? Because obviously that's going to give someone a massive head start.
Yeah, I get it.
Who is actually complaining about it? Big clubs or small clubs?
Well, the PFA have kicked up because if clubs could only spend to a certain amount, you would limit some players' earning potential because you can only spend so much on wages, which seems a bit backward to me because you earn what you earn, really. It depends how important you are. Yeah, because obviously they're saying it's not legal and you're limiting people's earning potential. But I find that a bit crass because none of them are rubbing pennies together, are they?
So then, in theory, you could have a player that is probably not good enough to be at one of these top clubs or starting for them, then gets an opportunity to move to a team that's lower down, get paid, inverted commas, what they're worth. Of course, nobody's worth that sum of money, apart from Cozy Dubry. You can have anything you want. That then makes it's then good because lower end teams then have more of a chance of a talisman type person playing for them and driving them and making them better and making it a better league. So I mean, you can't really you can't argue about this. I mean, you can. The problem is they can use the salary thing. They can use that. That is your argument. So yeah. I don't know. I just find it's all just a bit fucking boring, isn't it?
What are the two big boys? Well, I'll say Newcastle and Arsenal. Like you're the ones with, this would limit with your spending. West Ham would never have that much, so it doesn't really matter. But Arsenal obviously have loads of money and want to generate even more, and Newcastle, in theory, could spend it if they were allowed. What do you two think?
You're gone, Rich. I'm not too big on like the financial side of Arsenal and stuff. Like I think we're spending like we're not going crazy like Man United. We've done this whole not United but City and Chelsea, sorry. But yeah, we've done this whole like for the last 5 years we've just been doing this like real rebuilding stuff. It's not like we're not like in the same position as Newcastle, who wanna, like they've been taken over by Saudis and wanna just like go crazy with it because they want to change their club. So we're not in like a similar situation to someone like Mitch, who like I would like to hear your side of things.
For me, I've always said I would have hated if someone bought us and we just went crazy and completely like changed the club around in like a season or so. So I was quite happy that we were restricted in what we were doing at the start.
Sorry to cut you off there, but what if you did? What if you were like that first season and then he's just gone, here you go, 500 mil and you bought all these players. Remember, everyone was talking about you buying Mbappe and stuff like that. What if that did happen? Would you?
I wouldn't have liked that. I wouldn't have liked it to happen that way. I prefer the way it's happened. My frustration now is we're in a position where we're competing against teams that have got a lot bigger budget.
Yeah.
And I get it. You have to earn your right to spend the money, but it is kind of now at the point where at least let us spend in line with the teams we're competing with. Because how else do we even try and bridge the gap if we can't even spend the same amount of money as these other teams are spending? Like, I'm not saying let's just blow them all out of the water, pay everybody more money, give everybody more transfer fees. At least let us spend in line with the teams we're literally competing with at this moment in time. That's my most frustrating thing. And the thing is, what happens next? Do we have a few seasons where we can't spend, lose a few players, and then need to spend even more money to get players of a similar ilkin? And it's just a vicious cycle. You go around and you're stuck where you are because you can't then bridge that gap. There's no way of bridging the gap because we'll lose a few, we'll drop back a few years, either have to build a few players up or spend loads of money to try and get players in, money which we then haven't got and can't spend in line with the bigger teams. You're just stuck in a bit of a no man's land once you get to a certain point.
Yeah. So that's why it's different. It's kind of different to me when you ask. I'm not in that similar situation. Like, we're not like not begging, but like we're not saying, oh yeah, we need to allow us to spend this and allow us to spend that. We're not in that position compared to Mitch. But I do understand. I do get where like teams like Newcastle and Aston Villa are coming from. I would like to have seen you lot spend and see who you bring in and stuff like that. But then we would have turned around and said you're like City and the Chelseas and stuff like that. So I get why you're happy with the way it's gone so far. Because no one.
There's no other industry in the world, is there? There's no other industry in the unless I'm being thick. There's no other industry in the world that does this. In rugby union, you get a cap. Everyone's got the same cap.
Mm.
In NFL, everyone's got the same cap.
Yeah,
In basketball, everyone's got the same cap. NHL, basketball, everyone's got the same cap.
But they don't bring as much
in
money.
Spain, I don't think there's any rules. I mean, obviously, fucking Real Madrid sold training grounds to the king, didn't they? So, like, they can fucking do anything. But I don't think they've got any rules, do they? I mean, I've seen a few things recently, but I think it's just because Barcelona are absolutely fucked. I don't think they have any rules. I could be wrong. I don't think they have them in Italy. Again, I could be wrong. But in France, I mean, they can't possibly have them.
French is they're proper stringent. So they tell clubs what they can spend. You have to report your finances to. There's a separate body purely for finances, and you have to tell them your finances, and then they say, "All right, well, you're all right to do this, this, and this." Yeah. They're like mega stringent because obviously they're in massive trouble because of all the TV deals and whatnot that failed, and they're on their arse, so they're really stringent over there at the minute. And to a degree, they have their own things that they're trying to stop. Say, like, well, with PSG, just generally just keep winning and winning. I was just been doing a bit more reading. You know, I said like UEFA already used this model. They say 70%, but the Premier League, so you can't spend more than 70% of your football income. The Premier League will have that set at 85 because there was a quote that because we always want our clubs to have the ability to invest, is what someone said. Was it Richard Masters or someone who used to be something to do with the Premier League?
He was like head of the Premier League. Yeah. Chairman, was that?
Yeah. So,
but if you play in Europe, you would have to be working to 70% anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
weird.
It's odd. As this Masters bloke said, he goes, no system's perfect, but apparently there's a lot of people, a lot of money people complaining about current PSR. And to be honest, I don't really like that because clubs selling homegrown players for pure profit stinks. I don't really like that myself. As a football supporter, you want them ones to be in your side, not being sold, so you can buy someone. Yeah. I mean, you do get players that just click and it's great, and it's like they always loved it. But yeah, whatever they do, it's not going to be right. Is it?
One of them things you sort of making little changes here and there. Hopefully, it makes a difference and teams can compete a little bit more. But we'll just have to see how it goes, I suppose. At least they're actually trying to make a change rather than just leaving it and everybody complaining about the way it is at the minute. But boys, fantastic show as always. We'll be sticking to this new slot of Monday evenings. So forget the Sunday 9 o'clock. It's 8:30 Mondays where the owls sleep. Do all that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Well, see you next week, people.
All the best, gents.
Ta-da.
Yeah, guys.